And a lot of people have been talking too about Cody Rhodes. Oh, Cody Rhodes wins Money in the Bank and then challenges at SummerSlam. I know we've all had kind of Cody and Roman at SummerSlam in the back of our minds, but would that really be the best place to do it? I know Cody has already had involvement with the Bloodline and Roman, but a Roman and Cody match right now in the middle of all this Bloodline implosion almost like takes away from it. I still think and hope that Cody qualifies for Money in the Bank and wins the Money in the Bank, but he doesn't necessarily have to cash in at SummerSlam. I've also mentioned the Madison Square Garden show 6 days after Money in the Bank. That would be great, but I almost don't think that's going to happen either. I think if Cody were to win the Money in the Bank, he can just have the Money in the Bank and not cash it in right away because we still have to blow off Brock and Cody. Brock and Cody is probably going to be your SummerSlam match, not Cody and Roman. You know, if Cody wins the Money in the Bank, sure, he could challenge Roman at SummerSlam, but Cody might want to wait for a better time. Cody might win Money in the Bank. That's probably what's going to happen. Cody's going to win Money in the Bank, realize that he has this opportunity, and then he's going to announce that he's going to cash it in, and then he's attacked from behind by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar stops Cody from cashing in, attacks him, beats the fuck out of him, and then Cody comes out the next week on TV, or maybe even later on that night in the trainer's area as he's being attended to by doctors, and says, I need to end this issue with Brock Lesnar now. I challenge you to at SummerSlam to some stipulation match, and then Cody gets the win. And I put up this scenario on Twitter last night. It got a lot of likes and a lot of feedback, and it's just an idea of one thing they could do. And I'm not interested in what people feel like the right thing is. Let me just say clearly, there is not one way only to do stuff. Not one way. This is just an idea. They're going to know Cody needs to win this way or Roman needs to lose this way. Not always. So just hear me out. So what if Cody Rhodes won Money in the Bank, just like we're all expecting, right? And then you do the Cody and Brock match at SummerSlam. You also do Roman Reigns and Jey Uso for the title, like in the main event, Roman versus Jey for the title at SummerSlam. Brock and Cody are on the undercard in some sort of stipulation match, maybe a Hell in the Cell. Maybe Hell in the Cell. That would be perfect. And in that Hell in the Cell match, Cody beats Brock, but Cody gets annihilated in the process. Cody is busted open. He's bleeding from ear to ear. He's got a broken arm. He's got a broken leg. He's a complete fucking mess, but he beats Brock and beats him clean. And as bloody and broken as Cody is, Brock is even more bloody and more broken. And Cody wins the match, but he has to be helped away to the back. And he's covered in blood. The trainers bring him. That was the match of Cody's career. He has never had a match that hard or that difficult in his life. No one has ever beaten Cody up to that degree ever. And then the announcers are saying Cody is being treated by the medical staff. He's being transported to a local medical facility for treatment as a precautionary measure due to all of the punishment that he sustained. And Cody's out of the building. He's in the hospital selling the Hell in the Cell victory against Brock Lesnar. He ain't coming back. Then you do Roman Reigns and Jey Uso in the main event. And this will be the final implosion. Whatever you do here, make this the complete end of the bloodline. So Roman Reigns beats and successfully retains the title, beating Jey Uso. But in the process of this, he's lost everybody. Solo has now turned on him. Jimmy has turned on him. They might have even had Rikishi or some Samoan family members on TV denouncing Roman Reigns as the tribal chief and telling them how ashamed they are of his behavior, where he's really starting to lose everything. Then he goes into the match with Jey. He beats Jey, but in the process, he really alienates and ends his relationship with the bloodline. No more Solo, no more Jimmy, no more Jey. They have all left him. And Roman stands victorious in the ring at the end of the show with the announcers saying, Roman may have lost his family, but he is still WWE champion. Then you get the little WWE watermark in the corner. You start to fade to black, but right before you fade, wrestling has only one, more than one royal family, or whatever the song is. And then adrenaline kicks off. And then you have Cole screaming, hold on, wait a minute. Out comes Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is back from the hospital. He's limping. He's got bandages on his head. He's carrying and he's hobbling out there with the briefcase because Cody had made a promise to himself that he is going to get revenge on Roman Reigns for screwing him at WrestleMania. Now, Roman Reigns just had a grueling match with Jey Uso. Cody just had the fight of his life in a Hell in the Cell with Brock earlier on in the show. He's broken, he's beaten, but he is determined to make this his opportunity because now he gets Roman one-on-one, no bloodline around him. Roman lost his family. The only thing Roman has left is his championship belt. And as soon as Roman thinks, hey, things might be bad, but at least I still have this, Cody comes out and takes it. We get a little 5-minute match between them, 3 crossroads. Cody wins the title, becomes the champion. Roman Reigns now loses the bloodline. He loses his title. All of this ends and crumbles around him at SummerSlam. And Cody Rhodes wins the WWE Undisputed Universal title by, listen to this, beating Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in the same night. Move over, Chris Jericho, because what Cody did might even be more impressive than your Rock and Austin bullshit. So that's an idea. Now, when I pitched this on Twitter, you had people saying, oh, no. Roman's loss needs to be all clean and all of that. I get why you're saying that. You know why? Because I have said that. I have said time and time again for years, when any sort of major championship runs comes to an end, I always want that to be in the main event of a show or clean or something like that. And with Roman holding the title all of this time, I can understand fans saying, hey, when he loses the title, it needs to be clean in the middle, 1, 2, 3. I agree. But WWE had that chance at WrestleMania, and they passed on it because Roman had that milestone coming up that they wanted to make sure he achieved. So they already had that opportunity. Nothing would have been greater than a Cody win right there in the middle, clean. If they just do another match and they simply repeat it to give you the Cody win this time, well, we've already seen all of that. You know, we saw it at WrestleMania. We saw the Cody and Roman match. To have that match happen again, only this time with Cody winning, does have an element of predictability to it. So that's why I think it wouldn't do any harm to change things up. Like I said, there's not one right way and one right way only to do things. Roman doesn't have to win or lose the belt, completely squeaky clean in the middle. I would agree that I don't want Roman's run cashed in on in a disadvantaged way. That's why if you have Cody in the match with Brock first, he's coming out beaten, broken. He's not taking advantage of Roman. He wants to fight Roman like a man. You're beat up, I'm beat up, but let's have a match. It's still an even playing field. He's not necessarily taking advantage of anything because Roman is probably going to have an easier time beating Jey than Cody had beating Brock. So arguably in my scenario, Roman would still be in better physical condition in that match than Cody Rhodes. And then you have the match, Cody wins, and then that leaves the door open for Roman, who might take some time off for the rest of the year. He has a storyline reason to do that now. Lost his title, lost his family, but then comes back and can challenge for this thing at the end of the year or next year's WrestleMania or whatever. So that's one way to do it. You could hold Roman off, losing the titles until WrestleMania 40 if you want to do that. I don't want to see that happen, but you could. You could even do it until WrestleMania 41 if you really want to get nuts. But if you're looking at the immediate future, that scenario would be one way to do it because you have to pay off Cody and Brock somewhere. And I don't think you're going to have Cody and Brock at Money in the Bank after Night of Champions. It was even kind of alluded to in the promo that Brock and Cody are going to resolve their issue down the road, which means we're going to do Money in the Bank first. So hopefully that means Cody can qualify and compete in Money in the Bank, which means you can't do the Cody and Brock blow off there. Cody and Brock blow off would be better for SummerSlam. It wouldn't make sense for Cody, to challenge Roman Reigns at SummerSlam because he's in the middle of this bloodline stuff. So you create a storyline reason that stops Cody from cashing that in. Because once Cody gets that briefcase, you would think he's going to want to take advantage of that on the next possible date. And I've talked about that Madison Square Garden show before. And as much as I thought that would be cool for Cody to win the title in Madison Square Garden 6 days after Money in the Bank on SmackDown, I don't want that to happen maybe for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm going to be out of town and I'm going to miss it and I don't want to see it. But also, it could be a good way to get to that Brock and Cody match. Because if Cody comes out on Raw right after Money in the Bank, and he wins the Money in the Bank, and then he's out on Raw and he says, this Friday on SmackDown, I'm cashing in on you, Roman Reigns, in Madison Square Garden. I'm going to win this championship in the same building that my father fell short in his bid for this title against superstar Billy Graham. I'm going to do in Madison Square Garden what my father was not able to do, and it's going to be a special moment for me, and it's going to be a special moment for the Rhodes family. So, Roman, I will see you this Friday. And then Brock hits the ring from behind, nails Cody from behind, wipes him out again. F5 through the announce table, chair up the ass, everything. Cody is just a mess. Taken to the hospital. And now Cody isn't medically cleared to face Roman on Friday for the championship. Brock took that away from him. So now Cody's pissed. The next week on Raw, Brock, I had this great plan to win the title in Madison Square Garden, and you took it from me. So we have to end this, and we have to end it now. And then that's when Cody pitches Hell in the Cell for SummerSlam. And then you get your Brock and Cody blow off. He wins the title. And then if you wanted to throw in my idea at the end of SummerSlam, having Cody beating Brock, getting taken to the hospital, just do something in storyline to make the fans think that Cody isn't in the building anymore. And then as soon as the pay-per-view is about to go off the air, Cody's music hits. He comes out, wins the title. I think that would be great for Detroit. Imagine the ovation. Imagine the moment. A lot of times WWE is into creating moments more than stories. You know, they have excellent stories right now, but a lot of times they are about the moment, and that could be a good way for Cody to finish his story. It doesn't have to be a specific way. I think as long as Cody stays strong and wins the title in a respectful way instead of coming in babyface fresh as a daisy after Roman's had a grueling match, hits him with a chair and cheats and wins the title. I don't want to see Cody win that way in a cash-in, but I think if you book the cash-in in such a way to where it still keeps, you know, both guys on a somewhat even playing field, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I certainly don't see anything wrong with having a little bit of fun. You know, all this, oh, Roman needs to lose this way and Cody needs to win this way. Fuck off. Have some fun. Remove the stick from your butt and just have some fun. And let's see if we can come up with some interesting scenarios other than just the simple Roman and Cody match with Cody winning this time. I think if you had a couple of peaks and valleys or twists and turns along the way to that eventual culmination, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Have some fun. What's wrong with that? So anyway, that's my pitch for SummerSlam and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and what they could do if they wanted that moment to happen at SummerSlam. But